What if the only thing standing between you and better heart health, more energy, and a leaner body wasn't time? It was the way you've been thinking about exercise. You don't need 90 minutes at the gym. You don't need spandex, a cycling club, or a Saturday morning free of kids and errands. You need 20 minutes. That's it. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll have a complete, doctor-informed cycling routine you can do before your coffee even finishes brewing. And I'm going to show you exactly why 20 minutes is not a compromise. It's the smartest move you can make. Here's the problem. Most people don't skip exercise because they're lazy. They skip it because the bar has been set impossibly high. Somewhere along the way, we decided that a real workout had to be long, exhausting, and inconvenient, or it didn't count. So when life gets busy, which is basically always, exercise is the first thing to go. But here's what the research actually says. Short, consistent bouts of moderate cardiovascular exercise, like cycling, can meaningfully improve cardiovascular health, insulin sensitivity, mood, and sleep quality. The World Health Organization and the American Heart Association both point to roughly 150 minutes of moderate activity per week as a baseline for adult health. And that breaks down to just over 20 minutes a day. Not 2 hours, 20 minutes. In this video, I'm walking you through a complete 20-minute daily cycling routine built for real, busy people. We'll cover a proper warm-up so you protect your joints, a structured cycling session that actually challenges your cardiovascular system, and a cool-down that helps your body recover and adapt. Whether you're on a stationary bike at home, a spin bike at the gym, or riding outside around your neighborhood, this routine works. Let's get into it. Let's start with the why, because understanding the science is what keeps you consistent when motivation runs out. Cycling is a low-impact, joint-friendly form of cardiovascular exercise. Unlike running, it doesn't pound your knees and hips with repeated impact, which makes it sustainable for years, not just weeks. Physiologically, when you cycle at a moderate to vigorous intensity, your heart rate rises. Your body starts relying more heavily on both fat and carbohydrate stores for fuel. And your cardiovascular system, your heart, lungs, and blood vessels, gets a training stimulus. Over time, this can lower resting heart rate, improve blood pressure, and increase what's called VO2 max, which is essentially a measure of how efficiently your body uses oxygen. A higher VO2 max is one of the strongest predictors of long-term health researchers have identified. Now here's the part that surprises people. You don't need long, steady sessions to get these benefits. Interval-style training, alternating between higher and lower intensity, has been shown in multiple studies to produce comparable, and sometimes superior, cardiovascular improvements compared to longer, steady-state sessions in a fraction of the time. That's exactly the structure we're using today. Short bursts of effort, built into a 20-minute window, designed to fit into a lunch break, a morning before work, or the gap between putting the kids to bed and collapsing on the couch. Every effective session starts with a warm-up, and skipping it is one of the most common mistakes busy people make when they're short on time. A rushed cold start increases the risk of strain, especially in your knees, hips, and lower back. Start with 2 minutes of very easy pedaling. Keep resistance low. Your legs should feel like they're barely working. The goal here is simply to increase blood flow to your muscles and gently raise your core temperature. For the next 2 minutes, add a few dynamic movements off the bike if you can. 10 bodyweight squats, 10 leg swings per side, and a few ankle circles. This activates the muscles you're about to use and improves the range of motion in your hips and knees. If you're pressed for time and need to stay on the bike, that's fine too. Just gradually increase your pedaling cadence and add light resistance in the final minute so your body transitions smoothly into the main session. By minute 4, your heart rate should be gently elevated, your legs should feel loose, and you should be ready, not gasping, for the work ahead. This is the heart of the routine, and it's built around a simple interval structure that's easy to remember. 45 seconds of harder effort, followed by 90 seconds of easier recovery pedaling. Repeat that cycle 5 times. During the harder efforts, you're aiming for what's often called a talk test intensity of 7 or 8 out of 10. meaning you could get out a short sentence, but not hold a full conversation. Increase resistance or pedal faster to get there. During recovery, drop the intensity back down to a 3 or 4 out of 10, where your breathing settles and your legs get a brief chance to flush out fatigue. Why this structure? Because it mirrors what's known in exercise science as high-intensity interval training, or HIIT. Research consistently shows that interval training improves cardiovascular fitness efficiently because it repeatedly pushes your heart rate up and allows partial recovery, training your body to become more efficient at both effort and recovery, a skill that translates directly into everyday stamina. Whether you're climbing stairs, chasing a toddler, or carrying groceries, if 5 rounds feels like too much in your first week, that's completely normal. Start with 3 rounds and build up. Consistency beats intensity, especially in the beginning. The goal isn't to destroy yourself on day 1. It's to still be doing this routine 6 months from now. Quick pause. If this routine is already making you rethink what enough exercise looks like, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. We publish evidence-based, realistic health content every single week, built for people who don't have 3 hours a day to spend on fitness. All right, let's finish strong. The cool down is not optional, even when you're rushed. This is where your heart rate gradually comes back down, preventing that lightheaded, dizzy feeling that can happen when you stop intense exercise abruptly. It's also where a lot of the recovery process begins. For the first 2 minutes, drop your resistance and cadence significantly. Pedal easy, breathe deeply, in through your nose, out through your mouth, and let your heart rate settle. Then spend the final 2 minutes off the bike, doing light stretches. Hold a standing quad stretch for 20 seconds per side. Follow it with a seated forward fold to lengthen your hamstrings and lower back for another 20 seconds. Finish with a calf stretch against a wall, 20 seconds per side. These muscles do the majority of the work while cycling, and a brief stretch afterward can help reduce next day's stiffness and maintain flexibility over time. Here's the truth that most fitness content skips over. The best routine is the one you'll actually repeat. So let's talk about how to make this stick. Because knowing the routine and living the routine are 2 different things. First, anchor it to an existing habit. Pair your ride with something you already do every day. Right after you brush your teeth in the morning, or right before your first cup of coffee. This is a well-documented behavior science principle called habit stacking, and it removes the need for willpower or decision-making each day. Second, keep your setup ready. If your bike is in a closet or your gear is scattered, that friction alone can be enough to skip a day. Keep your bike accessible, your shoes by the door, your water bottle filled the night before. Third, track it simply. A basic calendar with an X on every day you complete your ride creates a visual streak that becomes surprisingly motivating. You're not trying to be perfect. You're trying to be consistent enough that missing a day feels unusual instead of normal. And finally, give yourself permission to adjust intensity based on how you feel. Some days your 20 minutes will feel powerful. Other days it'll feel like just showing up. Both count. Over weeks and months, these 20-minute sessions compound into meaningfully better cardiovascular health, more stable energy throughout your day, and a habit that doesn't depend on motivation to survive. So here's your challenge. Commit to this 20-minute routine for the next 7 days. Warm up, ride your intervals, cool down, and stretch. That's it. No gym membership required, no complicated equipment, just consistency. If you found this helpful, give this video a like so more busy people can find it, and subscribe for more realistic, evidence-based health routines that actually fit into real life. Drop a comment and let us know what time of day you're planning to fit your 20 minutes in. I'd love to hear it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.